tried to wrap it up the best I can, and then started working immediately.
Cosmic is rubbing me off. People have been saying this.
Yeah, it's because I'm an alpha gamer.
Are you fucking every day?
Yeah, absolutely. That's true.
People in this fucking landscape, they can't think ahead. They can't think behind them. All they think is whatever the fuck is in front of them, because no one has a concept of just zooming out a little bit. No one can do that. Everyone's like, let me get on Twitter and type. Oh, dude, I'm dead. I could just do this.
Why are you dead?
Hello, Dad.
Why die when you can just alive?
You're right. I didn't think about that.
I'm so smart. And funny. And cool.
I
Really
literally,
cool.
I came back from the gym at 6:30 and it's 8 right now. I still haven't showered.
I also haven't showered.
It's gross.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I'm
I
doing
showered
after
this morning and then promptly slept through the rest of the day.
I believe you. I worked out, and then my mom wanted to walk, and then we finished our walk at 7:45. So I didn't have time to shower before.
I thought you said watch. I was really confused for a second.
No,
why does your mom want to watch you work out? That's a little weird.
No, we go on walks so that
That's
she
cute.
is
That sounds very
alive. Because she's like 60 and she needs to walk.
That's good, because
yeah.
for a second I thought you just took her corpse everywhere with you or something.
That's exactly what I do.
Yeah, like a Weekend at Bernie's sort of thing.
Husband, the
It's like Weekend at Bernie's.
Or the anime
Corpse.
Corpse Princess,
Hey, everyone,
where she wields like a machine gun and stuff.
My name's Corpse. Welcome to the Corpse podcast. Guys, should we talk like Corpse the whole podcast episode? I think this would be a really good idea.
All right, guys, welcome to the. Even though nobody asked us to be Corpse husband.
Yeah, but we're gonna do it anyway. My name is Nestani Corpse.
I am Jaxler Corpse.
I'm DECosmic.
I'm Cooley_02.
And
husband.
And today on the podcast, we're gonna.
I like how everybody else. Everybody else went with the
worse. This is even worse than the Steve Jobs and Pixar.
Stop bringing
and
it up. Stop bringing it up.
And that's
Just
a
let
low
it die.
bar.
Let it die.
Man.
Oh my god.
He made some great films.
Please let this bit die.
No, we're not gonna let it die because of all the shit you hang over our heads.
Bro,
this is your cross to bear.
That's weird.
True. So
all right, Jaxler, we're gonna unleash you. Talk about fucking speedrunning GDQ. Just go. Just
oh yeah,
just go.
Pax
Just
West.
Yeah, I just literally yesterday.
Let's just
Launch. I'll go ahead and launch. I don't. Yeah. So I was at Pax West. They ran a mini GDQ event sort of thing there. I ran Pumpkin Jack at the event, and then I also commentated for Pseudo Regalia 100% right after. And then I also commentated for Bayonato's COD 4 run. And yeah, no, it was a really good time.
What is going on?
Nestani is
doing push-ups.
Nestani's clip farming.
Okay, go on.
You gotta
and so
get in the get it in.
Yeah. So Pumpkin Jack run felt pretty good about it. But there was kind of one cringe bit of commentary at the end where basically long and short of it, I was doing a new skip for the first time, and why didn't you tell me to launch if you're just gonna fucking
bro, just squatting?
Why would you even tell me to launch if you're just gonna spread your cheeks in front of the camera, dude?
Launch into the cheeks, man. I don't know what you want.
No.
Oh god,
Jesus Christ.
Before you continue, by the way, this was in Seattle.
Right? Yeah, this was in Seattle.
That's cool.
I feel like I've retained no
years.
information at all.
Nah, if it was in Brazil, you wouldn't have heard about it. Because,
Come to Brazil.
Brazil got Twitter banned now, but that's a whole other thing.
Really?
So anyway,
we have no
cringe
Twitter
commentary.
So end of the Pumpkin Jack run, I kind of went for a bit that didn't work because I misread the IGT, the tens digit as 2 instead of 3. So I thought I was about to fucking clobber record, and I was minutes behind. So that was very embarrassing. But the run itself
sucks.
Yeah.
That is so funny. I'm gonna have to watch this back.
It was bad.
I need that in my life.
It was bad. But
So how was the recovery? Did you stick the landing or?
I feel
How do you
there was only so many times I definitely stuck it all right.
You're gonna know everybody stick on that. Just a
Yeah, I tried to wrap it up the best I can, and like but
he
like
wrapped it up. He played safe.
I'm mad at it because me, the craft of the thing, the perfectionism. I'm just like, that was stupid, right? But I'm just gonna not enable y'all today. I thought it was dumb and really frustrating because like other than that, I was very very happy with how it went.
Absolutely.
Pumpkin
in terms
Jaxler
of like
back in the building.
Yeah. Well, no. Here's the funny thing too is now because I went for a new trick that required 110 FPS that we affectionately call Swamp Ass. I actually was allowed to call it Swamp Ass on GDQ stage.
Hell yeah,
nice.
let's go.
Awesome.
That was a good bit. But now that like I've hit it in runs, we've kind of started to have a legality talk about it now. Because in Pumpkin Jack you can only cap your FPS to either 30, 60, 120, 144, and uncapped. So you need to use something external like Riva Tuner or NVIDIA control panel in order to like really do it. Supposedly you can hit it at 120, but like literally only one person that I know of has ever done that.
And that was me.
No, it's not you.
Bro.
When the Norwegian IL dog cannot hit it, get his ass.
Get his ass.
Sit down. But no, literally when like not only me, but also like the Norwegian god of ILs and Pumpkin Jack are both just like, this is like this. The whole situation just kind of sucks because it's like, I'm also in the boat of like, yeah, I kind of don't like that you have to use this external thing. So I'm honestly kind of hoping that we allow like a minor form of the restricted version that kind of lands you like ever so slightly out of bounds and then you just redirect back to the checkpoint. Because you can land it within the like inbounds portion of the rule set, but there's a reason it's called Swamp Ass, right? So it's like, because it sucks.
Because it's a
here's my question
right now.
Here's my question to you from an outside perspective on just this trick, and then we'll get into the actual run, itself or whatever. So what is that section like when you're doing it, how you would previously do it?
It's Swamp Boob is the other version. Swamp Boob is the regular version, and Swamp Ass is this one. So.
Oh, that's fair.
Because boobs are just better,
So in the run up until this point, this is what's called a lamp boost, which is if you know what prop flings are, basically you break a lamp while standing on top of it and you go flying. That's the long and short of it. Exactly, something to that effect. And so usually there's a lamp boost that we do that allows us to skip the Horse 2 auto scroller ride. But it was discovered that with a very very specific setup, you can also use the same lamp in order to ping pong off an invisible wall and skip a like 5-minute boat ride auto scroller after Horse 2. And it just puts you right at the end platforming bits of the level.
What's up with Foley artist Nestani right here?
Man is just out here beatboxing. Nestani decided, okay.
To Jax's story. I don't know.
I was going to say,
you were bringing death
realized
to my
that
mood.
I'm never going to unmute the Discord soundboard, so he decided to become the soundboard. And obviously, I'm not going to mute him. So
Anyway,
it would be funny.
What were you about to?
I could. That would just be rude.
What were you about to say, Cosmic?
So in this boat section, I guess is my question is like, what's the variance on this? Basically, does it require playing well to get?
No,
like
the boat is just
ride?
You sit there.
You sit there. Okay,
for minutes.
So
it would objectively make the run better to
off.
cut out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, this is the shit that pisses me off sometimes. Okay, is that like get them?
Yeah.
So is people would rather sit for 5 minutes on a fucking boat than do a hard trick
boat pussy
with external with a third party hardware.
But here's the thing. First of all, even with the third party hardware, very inconsistent trick because you can get varying speeds out of the lamp boost. So there's that, and then it and I was having this conversation with the other Pumpkin Jack players, is that there is a difference between difficulty and consistency, right?
That's true.
So,
yeah,
like for example, there is a lamp boost at the first lamp boost. The second lamp boost we do in the level afterwards. I would consider easy, but inconsistent because
that's fair.
It procking the lamp boost is not consistent because it's not really up to you. But when if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I was arguing a little bit as well. Is like,
yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where like, I don't know, because if the idea is just on we're just going to disallow third party hardware, then sure,
then that's fair.
I'm kind of just behind that, and let's just keep it to that, right? Because at that point we don't need to have a whole other discussion of does this objectively make the run better, which I think 5 minutes less of downtime objectively makes a run better, you know.
I would agree. It makes, and it's also the coolest looking trick in the run.
Yeah, it's really fucking
other
cool.
than the last one. Yeah.
Since I've seen you practicing it, I'm like, man, that shit looks hard, but that shit also looks cool.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like, I mean, definitely the DMC5 like out of bounds clips that got discovered, and also the DMC reboot skips with like infinite climbs and shit. That shit is hard, and then sometimes like the clips or whatever in DMC5 are just not very. They can be inconsistent depending on the setup that you're doing. But like we hammered out a lot of that shit over the course of years, and people just got better at it. And so now like a skip that, you know, a couple of years ago I thought was hard, I now have a setup where I get it first try like 9 out of 10 times. And so to me, it's like, I think that there is a inherent knee jerkiness now to how fast games get up because of like when something new comes in and how fast a game gets optimized anyway, and how good people are at video games now. Like there is, in some cases of games, people do not have the leeway to learn a trick at their own pace. They got to catch up to the Joneses and, you know, land the trick as much as the people that are landing it really well. Yeah, you know, I would be hard. I'm not really involved in Pump and Jack, obviously, but if you could give me a little insight as to how much other people are practicing the trick, are they practicing it as much as I see you practicing it?
I would say they are as much as I am too.
Absolutely.
So the other thing too is that there's 2 other factors that are kind of complicating this. And so let me to briefly explain another thing as well. It is a frame rate dependent trick. So the amount of speed that you get from performing this trick is dependent on your game's frame rate. And so part of what becomes then a problem is that, how do I put this?
You need to have the hardware good enough to run at that frame rate consistently. So typically you want your hardware to be above quota of whatever trick it is. And then people on console are just kind of bone.com.
Yeah. And this is where it gets really interesting, because on PC, you can if your rig is good enough, you can consistently hit 144, which is like what gives you the fastest boosts. But sometimes that is too much speed. So sometimes you don't even go for stuff like that. Depending on the situation, right? The issue that this outside FPS capping brings into the fray is that it is like you would have to like with the way that it works, you kind of have to quit out of your game if you want to reset that cap. And if you have it capped at something like 110, it kind of prevents you from going any higher than 110, right? So you can't go back to like, I don't know, like
120 or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Well, wouldn't you just quit the game again and just turn the cap off?
Yeah, which you would.
But then you're just like quitting the game all the time during a speed run.
And then it just sucks, right?
Yeah, and then we get into the idea of like, are we giving up too much RTA time to save time in game?
Yeah.
And like, you know, does this become abuse of timer through hardware or whatever?
To get on my second point real quick before I let you launch.
Go for it.
The other thing is that this is a game on pretty much all modern platforms, like PS4 and onward, right? And so the other part of the problem is that things like PS4 can't hit 120. Because this trick was originally discovered, I believe, Well, I might be wrong. So VT Ninja will probably get upset at me. But he's the IL guy.
You should feel bad about spreading misinformation on the podcast.
I mean, I already did during the freaking PAX West run, but like
we've never spread misinformation on this podcast ever.
Same.
The reason why me and VT could never get this boost to work is that, or at least the reason I couldn't find out how to get it to work is that the footage I was looking at from Rip WSB, who not only has world record, legendary speedrunner, mind you. His footage was from PS4. And so it turns out that PS4 doesn't consistently hit 120. And so what I ended up doing to test this is I was like, oh, well, if I'm going too fast at 120, let me try it at 110. And then started working immediately, like with the exact same inputs and setups that he was doing. So it was kind of a, it becomes kind of funky in that regard, right? And so...
NVIDIA control panel, please sponsor the podcast. Thank you. Continue.
Yeah, exactly.
So shout outs to NVIDIA control panel, man.
Whoa, they're not paying us yet. Don't shout them up.
Yeah.
Fuck you, NVIDIA.
So it's just
hey,
come on,
we
we're
want them to
trying to
sponsor
get
us. Chill.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Fuck you compassionately.
No.
So
it is just a really interesting situation right now, and it's
Cosmic is horrible at bargaining.
Yeah.
Bro, this is why he worked at Walgreens for 14 years. Anyway, continue, Jax.
Damn!
holy moly,
Bro really got hung out to dry. That's tough.
that's fine. I got my bag up now. We
That
chilling.
is true.
It's all right.
Oh, damn.
Doing better than me. I don't even got nothing.
It happens.
As much as people give you shit for that, I couldn't even do that for 14 years if I wanted to because I have mobility issues. So,
well, I mean,
there was something you were going to launch on though after I made my point. I don't know if
I don't even remember.
You
now.
don't even
I just
remember?
got
All
torched,
right,
dude.
Well, in that case, I'll just wrap up by saying
when most of your adult life just gets owned, like there's nothing else you could say, dude. Like, what am I gonna say to that? He's objectively correct. Like,
people have been saying,
why are you booing me? I'm right.
Yeah, basically.
Let's address the elephant in the room, except it's not an elephant because he's lost a shit ton of weight, but let's address Coley on the floor. Why are you on a floor?
So, in Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
In Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, if you go to the meme category page, there is a category called
Why are you on the floor,
pad.
though? Sorry, I know where you're going with this. I just skipped the whole explanation.
And I have a dance pad.
Are you really gonna run?
And we're
Scooby
controlling
on
the
dance
game.
pad? Damn.
With a dance pad. I've already done 2 practice streams. It's been super fun. I was able to do GGS, which is a really difficult trick, and I'm going to try and do it. It's for the newest video I'm making. And it's been pretty fun.
Sick.
Ryan, who was the person who did it first.
It's me, Ryan and Theory. And I approve.
He did not approve. He was like, you should not do that. It will hurt your body.
Twitch.tv/Ryan and Theory. And honestly, I can't approve of this crap.
And honestly,
this sucks.
Approve this crap. This sucks. But so he helped me set up my dance pad, which was a huge pain in the ass. Like, I had to download like drivers so it would recognize this as a controller because Dolphin wouldn't, and I had to like basically hack. It's not that difficult, but I don't know anything about computers, as Nestani knows. Like, I barely knew how to like get homebrew on my Wii. Yeah. I am dumb as bricks. And so I also got my cellular telephone as my camera, which I thought would be a nicer camera. And I thought, well, it'd be fun to
it actually kind of
just have the podcast be like
the
this.
Lighting as well. I don't know.
He's just sitting
The lighting in my room is not very great, but I had one camera pointed down here so you could see what my feet were doing. Obviously, I'm wearing socks. I'm not
for
showing
free?
those dogs for free.
Nope.
That's why I got the socks on.
Stare at his feet.
But and then my terrible webcam is over there on my laptop, which I'm not using. And so that's what I'm doing. And so now I have extreme leg and back pain because I'm also still going to the gym, and all I want to do is lay down for the rest of my foreseeable future. If you see a clip of me even doing RBS is really easy, by the way. Redbeard skip, that is a super easy thing to do on D-pad.
Yep.
Or on dance pad. Yeah. But GGS is a completely different beast. And I'm like, I'm basically, it is technically a D-pad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a
you can just
type of
hold
D-pad.
like up left, like after you get the jump on the wall, right? Like you just.
Yep. Pretty much. Yep. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah. But GGS is a completely different beast. And also that happens to be in the same level as one where Ryan spent like 30 minutes in it, which is lab. And if I die in lab, I have to do that really hard trick all over again. So it's going to be torture, which means it will be good content.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, Ryan did this run 7 years ago. So that should just tell you how old it is. And he's the only one that's done it.
And I will be the second person to ever do it, and I'm going to do a completely new route, which will hopefully skip. Well, I know it will skip because I've already tested it. I'm going to skip Fishy, which is a whole set of annoying levels that he spent a long time on as well, which means I save a bunch of snacks, and it's going to be fun. Speedrunning has been, as some of you know, not the most fortuitous activity I've been a part of for a while, and this is a really fun way to speedrun the game in a completely different way, and it seems like people are really enjoying it. I've gotten in contact with community members I haven't really talked to in a while, and they helped me, route this and set it up and cheering me on and stuff like that. And I completely forgot that we were doing a podcast today, and so I was like, you know what, I'll just make this my camera angle because I think it would be fun. And then if somebody's talking about something I don't care about, I will just do this.
Podcast listeners, he's showing his ass right now.
No, yeah, he's laying on the floor.
Also, I just want to say for the podcast listeners, Ryan in theory has made a statement about this run, and on his run itself it says, "Please don't run this category. It took me 3 hours to recover from the intense leg and back pains caused by this speed run." And that's what he submitted.
Yep. This is 3 hours to recover. Jeez.
Well, the run is 3 hours and 45 minutes. So, 3 hours and 45 minutes on a dance pad.
Yep.
Really cool.
It's gonna be awesome.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Yep. There's one of the longest levels in the game is called Skull Cliff 4, and that's easily one of the worst parts of the run.
Are you gonna go for the void warp?
No. Well, I was thinking about doing. I was thinking about doing the void warp. I was thinking about doing the void warp in a different way because you can do 1-frame death jumps to get a bunch of height and a checkpoint trigger. And I could reach the out of bounds, but I couldn't control myself well enough to get around. You know, there's like a giant skull face and his eyes are crying out waterfalls. I couldn't climb up that well enough with a D-pad because I only have single jump at that point.
Well, couldn't you just do the void warp? I know you could definitely get out of bounds. It would just be hard as fuck.
Well, I don't have the double jump.
Why?
Oh, skill issue.
Because I'm doing shaggy storage. I'm doing hedge key early.
Oh.
Also,
are you doing hedge key clips on the dance pad?
Are you hedging?
No.
Are you hedging?
Honestly, I didn't really think about that, but
Cole's just running in place.
I don't really want to.
Bro's just sprinting. He's like, ah.
Oh, dude. But I've never done, I don't know. I wanted to try making something different because I don't want to just be the guy that does the same thing over and over and over and over again.
As opposed to me.
I have no idea why. You know what's funny is I went to my public library today because I needed to focus on like getting a job, and if I'm here on my computer, I don't want to do all that boring shit, and I just want to do fun stuff.
None of that garden shit.
Right. And so I was taking a break from that, and I was looking for because I'm getting into drawing, and I found this book. And it said a quote from Albert Einstein that said, "Insanity is just doing the same thing over and over and over again." And I'm like, damn. That sounds like fucking speedrunning.
That sounds like a Far Cry 3 reference to me.
So,
do you know
this is the part where I tell you that
insanity is? It's doing the same.
This is where I tell you that Albert Einstein didn't actually say that, and that's a total misquote.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Who was it then? I might be remembering.
main
Well, I mean,
villain from
Mercy's
Far Cry
still
3.
here.
It's the main villain from Far Cry 3. That's where
everybody
it originated
attributes it.
Far Cry 3 was before Albert Einstein's time.
It's true.
It was.
Yeah.
People have been saying this.
It's like Albert Einstein says, man. Don't trust everything you read on the internet.
I thought Abe Lincoln said that though.
Yeah, Abe Lincoln has been quoted as saying, "I never said any of that shit."
Oh, he must have stolen that from Albert Einstein then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might have the quote like who said it wrong, but
Well, so here's the
I
thing:
like
is
spreading
that
misinformation on the internet.
I have a quote from George
No,
Washington.
everybody
it's like,
is
hey,
doing
let's hit
that.
the gritty. That's what George Washington said.
All right, I'm going
everybody
back to sleep.
says that it's Einstein, and it's just not. Like,
Who is it then?
It's
Mr.
often
Einstein?
attributed to. I'm looking that up because I don't remember anymore.
It's Delaware
because
Cosmic. That's the origination
rather-
of this quote.
It's a rather uninteresting sort of
Quote.
thing, and also that's not the definition of insanity.
Do you know
So
the definition of
Oh my
insanity?
gosh.
Insanity.
You know, I
Yeah.
feel like
That's
Cosmic,
like the
you're the
only
kind
thing
of
I remember from
guy.
that game, by the way. That's
That's like the only thing
I remember
anyone
from Far Cry
remembers
3.
from that game.
It was just
that's
so
like,
well delivered. That whole scene, I still remember. Like, it's just such a good scene.
that
to
scene
finish
has
that game at some
outlived
point.
Far Cry 3. That's outlived all of Far Cry, honestly. I don't remember
Yeah.
anything else from
I don't
Far
remember
Cry,
anything from
the
Far Cry,
series.
and I played Far Cry 5,
True.
2, and 4.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. That scene was just. That's probably one of the best executed scenes in video game history. Just in general, I think. Just the whole thing was so good.
Cosmic, you're the kind of guy to like read poems or lyrics and take them way too literally.
what are you talking about?
That's
Like,
the
with-
opposite of
with-
true.
Like, here's the like you're talking
What
about.
a
you literally
random
just, like,
shot, but I agree.
like, hold on, you were just saying about the Albert Einstein quote that you were like, Albert Einstein didn't say that. Well, then who did? I don't know, but that's literally not the definition of insanity. And I'm like, of course it's not. It's like a
Guys, I just want to point out
It's
something
like-
here. Cole is berating Cosmic for something that Cosmic's doing when Cole does the same exact fucking thing. They both do this thing to me all the time.
No. We do not do it all the time. Maybe just sometimes, but not all the time. All right. But anyway.
Anyway, I can talk about PAX again. I think
We're doing so well
Please
without
talk
Simply
about
references.
Please talk about PAX
so
because
right
I'm
now.
I'm not about to sit here and let Cole tell me that I take things.
Oh,
too
yeah, I guess you
literally,
can talk about
because that's
PAX.
just
You
not
did.
That's
true.
just
You're
not
the kind of
true.
guy. If you hear raindrops keep falling on my head like that song, you'd be like, it's technically impossible for it to be raining all the time.
I
Like,
absolutely would not say
No!
that. I absolutely would not talk about
Yeah,
that.
because
No.
we're like smart enough
See,
to
here's
understand metaphor.
here's the difference.
Yeah,
Cole,
see?
is that
What is a metaphor?
Here's the difference: is
Okay.
that it's just not the definition of insanity, and also people misattributed it to Einstein. If it was the definition of insanity and people misattributed it to Einstein, I would still be like, that's a dumb quote, because people use the name of Einstein. People, podcast listeners, Cole is now laying on the floor as
Showing
he
his
refuses
ass.
to accept. Yeah, as he refuses to accept
Cole's
facts.
smacking his ass.
Facts and
Put that
logic.
on the Patreon.
Facts and logic.
Even though nobody asked.
Oh, he's a honk shoer as well.
Damn,
Yeah.
okay.
Any honk mears up in the chat?
Yeah, Cole is actually, he has clown shoes on. He's honking them right now.
So
Bro
I guess
is code switching between honk shoe and honk me right now. That is crazy.
Hey, you never let them know their next move, you know?
Yo, any
Or whatever
code
the
switchers
quote.
in
So
chat?
to pivot 90 degrees because that quote is dumb. So
True,
talking
people have
about
been saying this.
the pumpkin Jaxler
Oh,
run.
wait.
Well-
I thought we were done talking about the run.
Well, I was gonna talk.
We can talk about
well,
the PAX, the event.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
fine.
we're
yeah.
done.
there was other stuff that I did besides that run at PAX, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
You can talk about that.
So how was
Yeah.
the event overall? I'll ask that.
So this was a really cool one. So I went to PAX East as well, and like crazily enough, for most of the event, the crowd was packed,
Oh, nice.
which was really
That's cool.
like it was
looked pretty full,
it was
yeah.
packed like sardines for pseudo regalia.
P letters.
For example.
For those
So-
of you that don't know.
Yeah. So for
P
context, for P letters. So for context, Killing Pepsi did a 100% run of P letters. The run after mine, which for those of you who don't know is like by far the best category in the game.
5.
It's so shut up.
Hey, no.
Can you just like let me talk, man? Like,
What is he talking about? What is? Why are you counting?
He said 100%. So I was getting up to 100%. I was collecting each of the percentiles until they.
Wow.
Damn, Cosmic's starting to rub off on you,
Yeah,
and
I
not in a
know.
good way.
Yeah.
How is? I have never done anything like that. What are we talking
Cosmic
about
is
here?
rubbing me off. People have been saying this. Continue, Jack.
I have not been saying
This entire episode
Cosmic's been
is just an assassination of my character. Like, what are we talking about?
I'm just nitpicking your every personality. Like, that's not an assassination.
And now you're saying I have multiple personality disorder. I see.
Yeah, see, now you're angry.
Where
Is
this
see
is
the vision.
going.
Is this Vermont?
I
Is this
see the
Vermont
vision.
I see
Cosmic?
where
Like, what's
this
going
is
on?
going.
ICP.
I see.
That's right.
Throwbacks.
All right, so back to pseudo regalia. So, I was on couch. I'm going to pivot whether you like it or not. I'm trying to take after Nestani with never shutting the fuck up and not letting people pivot. So
True.
For pseudo regalia, it was really cool because the room was packed, and I didn't expect that for a game that was like, you know,
Yeah, I wouldn't.
this
expect
indie
that.
hit, right? Killing Pepsi's run goes very well, I would say. He like plays really, really well, and that was probably what I would argue, like, as someone who takes like commentary really seriously, one of the best runs I've ever commentated.
Oh, sick.
Because
Oh, yeah.
the nice thing about events like that is you don't have to worry about things like I'm doing this motion with my fingers. You don't have to worry about certain things like, oh, we have to cut over to donations at some point or work that in. So like as a result, I just yapped for like the entire run, and it turned out really great. Because like Killing Pepsi's the kind of person who really needs to like focus and lock in, and like gets kind of nervous when like. But like Killing Pepsi like locked the hell in, played really great. Got like a 26 low, which is like really damn good.
And Jax does the best whenever he can yap forever with no interruptions, which is why
With no interruption. Exactly.
He can't do this
True,
podcast
yeah.
because I love interrupting him. Just like
Oh
I'm
yeah,
doing
it's
right
like your
now.
favorite thing. Like yeah, it's like your favorite thing besides racism. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
It is funny though
always-
because side tangent. Whenever Jax commentated for my Ludestis run, it was really funny because he kept like trying to go more and talking, and I'm like, dude,
nope.
I can talk and play. I promise you.
Stop.
Yeah, and that's something I've been trying to work. I was kind of trying to use PAX as an opportunity to kind of work on some of that a little bit, because I was also asked to be on couch for Call of Duty 4, which I was.
Mega lol. Sorry.
Yeah, I know, right?
No offense
So-
to all
That
the
is
Call of Duty runners,
that was
but
a
full
total
offense.
fish out of water moment when I saw
Yeah.
you on that couch. I
So-
was like,
So here's my thing, right? I was not allowed to play Call of Duty growing up. I was not allowed to play like
that's fair.
quote unquote violent video games, even though I was allowed to play Dog's Life, which is I wasn't like my parents like took literally the ESRB rating, so we weren't allowed to play rated
my
T for
parents did that
teen
too.
until we were
Yeah,
teenagers, you know. Even though I was allowed to play Dog's Life at like age 10 for some reason, I guess they just missed that one. But like,
What the fuck is Dog's Life?
I'll explain later.
You had to be.
We'll tell you when you're older.
Okay. I'll let you all know whenever I hit Cosmic's age. Ooh, it's gonna be a while.
I
But-
am older though, so what kind
we
of
gotta lay off
insult
the.
even
We
is
are
that?
murdering this man. He's
Yeah.
our friend.
But
I already got one foot in the grave, dude. Like, what are we doing?
The other one in.
All right, well, let's get to it.
Oh my god.
it's warm. Uh-oh.
What,
I
you
gotta
don't
make
like
sure that
warm
the-
holes, Jaxler?
So I was on the couch for Call of Duty 4, and so again, like I said, I don't really play that flavor of shooter, period. Let alone, you know, just like I grew the closest I got to that was like growing up, sneaking into my dad's office while he was playing the original Call of Duty on his computer. growing up.
sick.
And my dad's not that much of a gamer, but he liked the original ones
So
because
here's
he
your
was.
problem. You're a gamer. Go ahead.
Oh, I see.
Sorry, I
okay.
just got removed.
Yeah, no, you had a moment. We all have our moments. But it was so I have always kind of struggled with being able to commentate games that I was not very well familiar with. And so when I was asked by Brian to be on that couch, leading up to the event, I kind of took it as an opportunity to start trying to work towards that. Because someone I really look up to on the commentary side is Corundum Core, actually, who's like one of my best friends. And
shout out to Ruby.
Shout out to Ruby. She is really good at like studying and researching, and like for like any kind of game that like she like really isn't as intimately familiar with. So I feel like that's kind of a skill I've been lapsing on a little bit, if that makes sense. So I kind of use that as an opportunity to kind of like, lean into learning how to ask questions, which is something Brian is actually really good at doing as a commentator. I mean, for my Pumpkin Jack run as well, right? So I felt that went really well because like I was able to, there was like one really long part of the game. I think the mission's called Death from Above, where you're just like shooting like bombs at people for like 8 minutes. And
sounds like a Call of Duty game, yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a
police officer game.
That too.
True. Yeah.
I mean,
police officer.
The military is really just like global police officers, if you really think about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Buck 12.
Buck 12, exactly, right?
True.
But it was like a multi-minute auto scroller. So I tried to like pick moments, because there's a couple of moments like that throughout the run to just like engage with like,
not to be confused with Fire Emblem Engage.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was confusing that, but that's besides the point. But just trying to like engage him on like, because he's an FPS runner, and like
NFL Madden play. It's a blitz play in Madden. Go ahead.
Yeah. It was also just a really interesting couch dynamic too, because there were 2 other like Call of Duty runners on the couch. One of them from COD 4, another from COD 2. And like they were kind of on the quieter side, into the sense of, this is a new ball game for them, being on like a a marathon run couch sort of thing. So I don't know how completely successful I was at it, but I was trying to also give them ask questions that they could also answer themselves, to give them opportunities to shine as well. And I still want to work on that portion of it a little bit as well, but I feel like it was like a really good exercise for me, if that makes sense. And I think Brian really appreciated it too, which is honestly what I care about more, because this is what I tell everybody about commentary, is like your job is to support the runner in whatever they're trying to achieve, right? And so, that's what I told Killing Pepsi, is like, my job is to support you in whatever you need help with. And he's like, cool, talk for the whole run. And I'm like, good.
Don't shut the fuck up, actually.
Do not shut the fuck up. Yeah, keep going, please, right? As opposed to something like this, where it's like, try to, ask questions, or like bring, the outside perspective in. So
also,
I was honestly more
shovel claused it.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so honestly, I was honestly a lot happier with how I did on commentary than I did with my own run. Not to say that I'm like completely pissed with how my run went. Yeah. But I don't know. It was soured by that really embarrassing bit at the end. So it's like,
I mean, everybody's kind of do their own cringe moment on GDQ. There's a point where during my cried. Vanquish run. Yeah, that's
you did
true.
Cry.
Yeah. But there's a point where I misread like a joke or something that Brian said at the end of my Vanquish run, and I said, yeah, it's because I'm an alpha gamer, and then like killed the boss, and then that was the end of it. And then we just left, and I was like, my bad if that was a dumb joke. And then Brian was like, nah, I don't care, I thought it was funny. And I was like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah,
but like,
well, there you go.
Well, that's the thing too, is it's like people don't like your brain, like, and this doesn't even apply, this is like a broad thing where it's just like you will always remember your most embarrassing moments.
Yeah.
But most people will forget something cringe that you said or did, like, unless it's like someone like me or Nestani, like most people will forget about it like moments after.
Oh yeah.
The thing you said, right? That's one of the things that helped my social anxiety the most, is like, people are self-interested, so they just don't care enough to remember everything you said, right? Yeah. Like, I was really beat up about my PAX East Vex run because we had to mercy kill it because of tech issues, and it went 20 minutes over estimate.
We're gonna shoot this run with a gun. Bang.
Yeah, exactly, right? But nobody remembered that happened. Like,
and I think that's
I had to remind people that happened, because
I think that's a fault mostly of like the way that we treat like essentially scoring in certain cultures, right? Where if you get like a 90 out of 100 on a test, people focus on you tend to, and other people will focus on the 10 that you got wrong rather than the 90 that you got right. And so as a result, in school, we're kind of conditioned to focus on what we did wrong rather than
celebrate what we did right.
Yeah, celebrate what we did right. So, you were super embarrassed about this one run, but I mean, now that you're in a more positive space, essentially, where people are all about collaboration and celebration of the other, a lot of other people were focused on, the other 20 runs that you've done really well, during your career.
Maybe like 32.
32, yeah. I mean, he's almost got as many marathon runs as I have years on this planet. So,
yeah, people have been saying this.
Basically that. But, again, in your brain, you were focused on the one that got away, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I can't.
But at the end of the day, like, yeah,
Wait,
everything
sorry.
reminds me of her. Everything reminds me of her.
I'm back.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like, at the end of the day, you're still Jaxler, like,
For better or for worse.
For better.
So something that I do want to ask you is, like, have you never had the opportunity really to commentate games that you, and this is a two-parter. So have you, like, never really had opportunity to commentate games that you don't really know that well? And is that a direct or at least indirect result of you feeling like you have to carry the torch on a lot of games? So essentially, when a game shows up in a marathon, you're usually the guy that knows that game.
So I think part of it is just I've like you don't get reached out to unless people know who you are, and like over time more people know who I am. It's like, for example,
this guy's famous, by the way.
Yeah, I'm so famous with all of my 2 viewers. But
how to become famous right here.
You had 16 with Scoob.
With Scoob, yeah, no. Apparently, Scoob's a top tier.
I had 2 viewers, by the way, with Scoob. I just want to point that out, everyone. This guy's famous.
I was one of them.
I took all your viewers, Nestani. I'm sorry.
Well, the 2 that I had when I was looking were just me. It was me and Nestani Fake, my homie. You did come in later, but like at the beginning of the stream, at the beginning of the stream, you were not there. So.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. No, I cannot claim that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I showed up later.
I think part of it too is less that has to do with.
We know.
Yeah, people have been saying this. I think it less has to do with me and more that people are generally going to favor including members of their own communities.
That's fair.
In positions such as that, which I would honestly, prefer too. But that's not always, the case, right? Like, for example, I was on couch for Shredberg's Meat Boy run, and he very specifically almost always likes to have someone who doesn't know the game on his couch to like ask questions and things like that. Or like, I was on like some like for like Shasta's like WarioWare run at some point. And that like I'm still kind of amazed that game got in because it's, a WarioWare type of game. But, at the same time, it was like a really kind of interesting thing. That's neither here nor there. But I don't know. I don't know how much of it is a vicious cycle where it's like I don't feel... Because I don't advertise that I'm willing to do that for people.
Oh, that's fair.
Because part of it, too, like is Claus. I also focus...
Claus does not shut the fuck up. Claus is like, let me on your couch.
Yeah,
same
exactly.
With Brian Otto, yeah.
Where it's just like, my goal is like, I like, because there's other ways that you can support runners besides being on commentary. Sometimes you can just be, someone's like bouncing off point for ideas, or just you can be someone's friend, right? Like that's the other thing. Like sometimes, like right, like. For example, Nestani's Lunistis run, like, he only really needed me for World 4, honestly. And so it's like,
And 3-2.
And 3-2. But, like, at the same time, it was, like, one of those things where it's, like, again, your job is playing the role of support. So if my role isn't needed, then I don't take that personally either, if that makes sense. I feel like that extends to how I feel about, like, I don't know, I guess a lot of things. Because it's, like,
Yeah. I mean, there was a very weird point in, like, I think 2021 to 2022 maybe, or 2022 to 2023, where, like, I asked Demonic to do commentary for Vanquish at one point, and then he ended up, like, learning the whole story of the game, so that he could explain it, because I forgot every fucking cutscene in that game. And
as you should, King. Yes. Yes.
And then what's it? Well, actually, there was one that I remember.
Storyline of Lunistus. No fucking clue what goes on in that
There was,
game.
there's
I don't
one
either, honestly.
cutscene. There's
September
one cutscene
2nd.
from Vanquish that I remember where the main character just goes, "You're last year's model," and then throws a fucking robot out of a ship and then hops in it and then goes to an auto scroller.
Not to be confused with
and
Hobson.
that's
I'm so
I
sorry.
don't think
sucks.
we're
awful.
We're not- we're not hop. We're not.
You're never
we're not
letting me
Hobson.
live down the Hobson reference from last episode, are you?
Yeah, I mean, I
Fair
like
enough.
one Hobson album, so it's not a big deal. But,
Oh,
like,
okay,
that was it.
that's even worse than what I've did. That's damn.
You should uninstall the album.
I mean,
You
I don't
should-
listen to it anymore, but I did.
I don't even know
like
who
it
you guys
when
are
I listened
talking
to it.
about.
Don't worry.
He's a
He's
really
shitty
bad
fucking
rapper.
He's a rapper that
Can't rap.
cannot write a single good song unless he has an axe to grind. So
What did
He's
you
what I like to
just
call a
say?
cum
Oh,
dumpster.
what?
an axe to grind.
What the
Basically,
fuck is
unless
that?
It's an old
Like
phrase.
an axe.
Basically,
Like an axe.
Basically,
like
Like the
unless
body
he's
spray.
got-
Axtagram?
Unless
what
he's
is
got-
this, Instagram for axes? What did you just say to me?
Like,
know how to
it's like
sharpen
sharpening
an
an
axe.
axe.
Use a real word, bro.
I'm defending you, Cosmic.
Use a
I-
real word is insane.
basically, unless something is going wrong in his life and he's got beef, he cannot write like a good song. Like, because he doesn't know where to draw inspiration from other than like
Anger.
anger. Yeah. Exactly.
So if he's not angry, you can't write a good song. You could have just said that. Everyone would have known what you meant.
I do what he.
I'm pretty sure most people that if you understood what I meant by axe to grind,
Comment
please
if you know
get
what
in
an
the
axe to
comments.
grind means.
Cole's
Tell
just a
me.
fucking nerd, and you're old, okay? Actually, Cole's old
And
too.
you're
Yes, all he
old.
listens to is the Beatles.
Damn.
Actually, he's also old. So
And Pink Floyd.
Cole, do you
Pink
want to go
Floyd.
and visit Abbey Road with me? Do you want to go and visit Abbey
Yes,
Road with me, Cole?
I would love to
I don't
visit
even
Abbey
like that
Road.
album, but I'll go and do it to prove a point.
what the fuck is
That's
Abbey
awesome.
Road?
The Beatles album.
The Beatles album. Yeah.
Oh, I'm dying.
We can go and get run over on Abbey Road trying to recreate this picture.
I would love to walk into oncoming traffic. That sounds like a great idea, especially after the end of the Pumpkin Jack run.
But yeah, there was a point where like
For
Demonic
4 easy
like
payments of $19.99, you can get
Plus
the
processing and handling.
Demonic did like Vanquish commentary, and then as a result of that, he like invited me on to do like Control commentary for a couple of runs.
Yeah.
And so there was a period where like both of us were submitting that game a bunch to marathons, and then we just ended up commentating each other's runs like back and forth, even though neither of us ran the other's game. It was just like, yeah, you're just inviting the homie on there, which it's a pretty fun thing to do, honestly, for games that you like maybe only played casually or like only tangentially know.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat. I think I've only ever been in your position a couple of times where you were like the sole, representation of knowledge
Yeah.
of the game for like, pseudo regalia. And I think that was for like Shinobi maybe. And because like that was all squarely on my shoulders to explain that game, because Cypherin, when I talked to him, he was like, yeah, I'm going to mostly be focusing on the run.
I don't blame him. That game is so fucking hard.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. And he was just like, I'm just going to focus on the run. Just please talk about it. I'm going to get other commentators too. And I was like,
Yeah.
got you.
I mean, that's what I did with Fire Emblem as well. Like, I was the only person that
Yeah.
knew what the hell was going on.
Yeah. And I mean, in fairness too, like with Sacred Stones, that I think was sort of the next stage of what Jaxler was talking about with, you only really needed him for a couple of things. And for Sacred Stones, you kind of proved that you have the chops to solo commentary. You just needed somebody to bounce some bits off of as well,
Yeah.
to fill
So
out
what?
the
That GDQ run was awesome.
yeah.
Sorry.
To bounce the bits off of, yeah, to help with the
I'm
pacing.
not entertaining this joke. Okay. Gonna move on.
No,
to
I'm
another
just giving you a compliment. That's all.
one. No, I'm moving
So-
on from what Jack said. I'm focusing on what
Oh.
you're saying. But
Fair
yeah.
enough.
We've been doing that a lot this podcast.
You don't
is
like
ignoring what other
Miter?
people say.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's just kind of our vibe. Is we don't care about each
That's the
other,
vibe.
despite what you might think.
Yep.
Oh yeah, so I finally weighed myself, and I think I've lost like 20 pounds in 2
Oh
months.
shit!
Oh
So-
man, that's awesome.
Pretty dope.
Good for
Yeah.
you. Yeah, you started rucking.
Skin is
I
legend.
did start rucking
guy
on
started-
Sunday,
I was
bro.
rucking.
How's
no.
tucking?
So rucking is pretty cool. Let me actually grab this backpack.
He's gonna grab
nice.
his tucked pack.
So this is the thing that I've just been wearing around.
GoTuck.com.
GoRuck.com. So
It's
GoFuck.com.
rucking.
So it has two of these.
God.
Let me actually pull one of these things. It's got two of these 10-pound plates in it. So I just kind of walk around with 20 pounds on my back.
Yeah.
For
Plus
like an
whatever
hour.
the backpack weighs. That's probably.
And yeah, plus whatever the backpack weighs. And let me tell you, man, like I feel like I just have more energy in the mornings. It's really weird. And like just throughout the day, I don't really know what to do with some of this
Crazy
energy.
concept.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Crazy concept. Well, the thing
Helps
is,
you
right, dude,
feel
is that
better.
like,
More at 8.
yeah, true. I mean, I just maybe expected like some progress in the last like 2 months or whatever, but I mostly just expected to not be completely out of shape. I didn't expect to like wake up at 8 on a fucking Monday and then go for like an hour walk, come home, stream for like 5 hours, and then like go to my parents' house, eat dinner with them, come back, and then walk for another hour, and then be like, what do I do now? And like still have 2 hours of just like go in me. And I'm like, damn, that is
It's surprising how much you
completely
can do in
different.
a day,
yeah.
especially if you like schedule it out and things like that. Are you
definitely.
like doing? So are you rucking like every day or only like 3 days a
fucking every
week?
day?
Or,
3 days a week.
I mean, I'm basically going to be trying to do it every day, yeah.
You're
Because
tucking
I've been
everything.
walking.
That's crazy.
I've been walking nearly every day. Like I think tomorrow I'll be taking a break because I usually go to my buddies to play fighting games. But if I get back at like 10 p.m., I might just walk for an hour from 10 to 11.
Wow,
then just,
that's some
I don't know.
privilege right there. Did you hear that, everyone? He's going outside at 10 p.m. at night to walk. Women could never.
My area. That's true. That's true.
Privilege right here.
That's facts. Yeah, it's a terrible world we live in. Yeah. I was gonna say something really terrible and dark, but
I was going to as well. But
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
The only never.
So, but that's
it was
awesome,
gonna be
dude.
unrelated. It was unrelated to what you said completely, but it was still.
I was just gonna make a joke about racism, but
Oh.
yeah.
Again?
I mean, I was just gonna say it's a terrible world
Again?
we live in, where men bury their sons.
Huh?
So
Why don't you bury some bitches?
On your dick.
Get very.
Sheesh.
what?
What does
Anyway.
bury your sons mean, by the way? I don't know what.
Oh, basically, it just means a terrible world in which children die before their parents.
Oh,
Yeah, like the army dreamers, you know,
the army memers.
like Kate Bush. Army
All right, now
dreamers.
you lost me.
Kate Beckinsale.
That's a
You
good
lost
song.
me.
Army dreamers.
Do you think Bush did 9/11 or do you think it was Al Gore?
I think it was Kate Bush.
Mammy's got flowers for her little boy. That's part of the song. Kate. Never mind.
I'm just gonna
I just
have
listen to old people
to,
music. I'm just here yapping.
true.
I'm
But
literally
I-
an old person already.
But I will send you a cool band after the podcast is
Uh-oh.
over that I think you'll like.
Okay.
Cole. So yeah,
nice.
cool.
I'm
They're called
excited.
As Cities Burn. So for those of you that want to check them out,
For those of
They're
you that
pretty
want to
dope.
commit
As cities
arson,
burn.
check them out.
true.
We love committing arson.
Arson is lit, dude.
Literally.
Yeah, even though nobody else is not responsible for any arson or
Literally.
other crimes committed.
Literally.
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 The only update I have on my week for everyone is that I have played 40 hours of Smite in 1
Dude,
week. So
every
I've done
time-
a complete work week. I've done a full-time work week of Smite this week.
Work week. Dude, every time I've gone on Discord has this new thing where it'll like on the top of the server list, it'll show what somebody has been doing
Yeah.
or what they've been doing multiple days in a row. And every time I
Nestani's been
look to
playing
see if
Smite
besides
2 for 8 hours.
Yeah, dude. It's like, oh my God. I was like, man, I wonder what
Crazy.
Um,
Nestani's doing right now.
I'm playing Smite 2. Well,
Smite
it's
2.
because Thomas was
Imagine
off this
that.
past week. Thomas is my best friend, for those of you that don't know. But we
Shout
played
outs to best
Smite for
friends.
like the past 10 years together. And so Smite 2 launched. Obviously, we're hitting the queues. And he was off work for a
yeah.
whole week. So that's why I've played Smite for 40 hours in
Jesus.
1 week. Because he's off of work. I'm working from home. And so
yeah.
And so then and so we got
you're
a lot
working
of Smite
from home,
guns.
so you cutting out that commute time really gives you more
it
time
give me some more time to play some Smite.
Yep,
you know,
Battleground
of the Gods 2, the second
Absolutely.
one. It's so fun. It's very good.
I was going to ask, like, if the game is just actually that good, or if you're just like,
is very
if you're
good.
if you're just trying to like hammer out if you liked it or not. But I'm glad that you do.
It's very, no, I knew I liked it from like the first alpha test.
Oh, cool.
But
awesome,
everyone else in the fucking Smite community is fucking dumb as fucking bricks. I just want to go on this minor tangent here, okay?
Go for it.
Not to be confused with the minors that Dr. Anyway.
Whoa! Why did you have to bring it?
Anyway, so context, in Smite 1 transitioning into Smite 2, right? If you don't know about this, essentially Smite 1 is built on UE3, Universal Engine 3.
Oh my god, are they still using UE3 for Smite 2?
Unreal Engine 3.
Unreal 3.
Yeah, and so Smite 2 is being upgraded to Unreal 5. That's the reason they're remaking the game. Unreal 5 is like the latest engine out. Like Unreal 3 was released in 2002. I don't know.
Wow, that sounds
about right. That sounds about right.
Very, very old, right? And UE5 was released in the past couple of years, I think. And so they've upgraded the engine to UE5 so they can actually play the game. And basically, it does a lot of things for them that no one cares about. Regardless, we're going to skip that. That's why they've made the second game. And so all the pro players get fucking fired, right? Because how the Pro League worked in Smite 1 is that instead of having like teams like TSM, Cloud9, 100 Thieves, none of that shit, right? They homegrowned it. So like they funded their own league. So like everything was funded through Hi-Rez. So they made their own teams and their own branding, and they would pay the pro players a salary, right? Obviously, all the pro players get fucking fired because there's no esports as they transition to Smite 2. And so all the pro players are fucking... first of all, they do get fired. That does suck. Let's acknowledge that. That blows. You know? They're like, oh, I don't have a job anymore. Right. Some of them have moved across the fucking ocean because a lot of them are European players that had to move back or stayed here or whatever, right? Anyway, so they all go on this big fucking tirade on Twitter after the first alpha test. By the way, guys, do you know what a fucking alpha is? Just everyone, an alpha is like a super unfinished game. It's super unfinished. It's just like, it is like the first thing. It goes alpha, beta, full release, right? So we're in the alpha. It's the very first alpha weekend. So many doomers, all the pro players are like, dude, Smite's fucking dead. This game fucking sucks. Fuck Hi-Rez. And then I was just talking to Thomas about it. I was like, dude, fucking 5 months from now, all of them are going to be fucking deep throating Hi-Rez's dick, being like, oh my god, this game's so fucking good. And they're going to be slobbing on that shit as soon as Smite 2 launches 24/7. And guess what fucking happened? The first day, all those niggas that were fucking complaining about this game being a pile of fucking garbage were like, oh my god, this game's so good. I'm so excited. And I'm like, why do you have to just fucking send this hate tirade out on the devs like for like 5 months for no reason? I just give them time to make the fucking game. Anyway, that really fucking annoyed me, and I lost a lot of respect for a lot of pro players because they're a bunch of fucking peasant ass pussy bitches that just like don't understand what a fucking alpha is. And I feel bad for the Smite 2 game devs because I was just like, hey, I see the vision, you know, but people in this fucking landscape, they can't think ahead. They can't think behind them. All they think is whatever the fuck is in front of them because no one has a concept of just zooming out a little bit. No one can do that. Everyone's like, let me get on Twitter and type. I can't see anything. I'm blind. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Guys, get a fucking grip. Get the fuck off Twitter. Okay, just get off social media. Just fucking like look around. There's so much more shit going around. Dude, I can't stand it. This is like precisely the reason why I'm like almost off Twitter completely is from all these fucking idiots, dude.
Join the party.
It is batshit crazy how like rotten everyone's brain is, and I'm very over it. That's my Smite 2 rant.
You know what? You should take this
we all knew it was going to be good
podcast at those pro players on twitter.com.
Dude, you know what I've been debating on doing for the past week is screenshotting all of their old tweets and just putting them on one side and the new tweets on the other. But I'm not gonna do it because I'm not that petty. But I want
Smite
to.
players say.
That would be funny.
That's exactly what Twitter is, though. That's what it's for.
Dude, I know. I have opportunity to farm some Twitter points.
That's awesome.
I want to so bad because you don't even have to scroll that far. You do like fucking 3 scrolls because none of those niggas tweet that much. You do 3 scrolls and like, man, this game's fucking dog shit. Fuck this game. Look, oh my god, it's so good. It's just.
Oh
yeah,
my
people.
God, it's stupid.
People definitely live in the moment on Twitter and they forget about the past and ignore what could be the future.
Yeah, and it's just like
that's a big part of it.
Like my biggest thing is just like the Smite game devs have been so fucking rock solid good for like the past 5 years. Like before that, but like the past 5 years have been a real. By the way, this is a 10-year-old game, right? So half of its lifespan has been really fucking good. Like all the changes fun, the game fun, blah blah blah, right? And then I'm like, what? Like the same devs that worked on Smite 1 are working on Smite 2. Why do you think it's going to be bad? Like, it was just like so bizarre to me because I'm like, do you all not realize how good our game devs are in comparison to a lot of other game devs? Like, no offense to other game devs, but like, they've done a very good job. And I'm like, there was no reason to ever expect that Smite 2 was not going to be good. Like, none. And they're all, it's just so annoying to me to see the flip. You know, because I knew they were going to flip and just waiting for them to flip and then seeing it. I was just like, I want to fucking beat all of you with hammers. To take a quote from Jax. Whoa. Love that one. It's good. It's a good quote.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just game devs need to learn that we, the consumer, can make a video game
don't know
better
what the
than
fuck
them.
they're talking about. Consumers don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's what I've learned.
We can make better video games than Miyamoto. You know,
no one is saying this.
Mr. Beast,
Satoru Iwata, Mr. Beast. We can make better video games than all those guys. That's what game devs need to learn from this situation.
I hate everyone on the internet, and with that, we're just gonna end the podcast because now I'm
we're just gonna give up.
Mad. I'm gonna go play more Smite. No, I'm not.
He's mad. We talked about Smite speedrunning.
Yeah, all we talked about is a whole fucking speedrunning this episode. God damn it, we're back. We're a speedrunning podcast, guys. Actually, we lied to PMC Trilogy. This is a speedrun podcast.
It's been many episodes since we talked about speedrunning.
Yeah, I know. I'm just fucking around. I'm fucking around. It was fine.
Fair enough.
Don't fuck around.
Yeah, have fun. Guys, I don't speedrun anymore, if you couldn't tell. That's why I don't talk about speedrunning. I'm now the only member of this podcast that doesn't speedrun.
I would barely count what I'm
You're speedrunning. You're speedrunning dance pad. You're doing a speedrun activity. You're speedrunning. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and Cole just swapped.
Yep.
Well, no, we were on the same wavelength. He left me, actually. He abandoned ship.
He left me!
He joined you on the
He took my wife and the kids, damn it!
We had a nice, like, balanced divide of the 2 non-speedrunners and the 2 actual speedrunners, and now there's 3 speedrunners again. And now I'm not speedrunning. Now I'm abandoned. I'm just here on this island.
You took the slim and the divorce.
Bro just gave me the divorce papers at like a party. What the heck?
Hey man, I'm just saying you're the one who left, not me. I'm still here.
What do you mean? What I barely count is speedrunning.
You're dance pad speedrunning. You are dance pad speedrunning. That is the activity that you're doing. It's in the name.
I put my foot on the right arrow and I went in that direction.
You're doing a speedrun category. So you're speedrunning.
He's literally
That's
running.
like, dude, that's
I feel Nestani, I feel like, you know that like one image of like Eminem like tossing something? That's what I thought like you were just doing right now in the fucking whip. I thought you were about to like woil rat be upon you. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what this image is. I'm gonna be so real. I don't know Eminem that well.
I feel, are we all just, oh, I'm doing the wrong hand.
I'm doing this because I'm left-handed.
I'm doing this because
You're southpaw?
My left hand is closer to the camera, so I was just doing this, and my right hand is on my foot right now.
Like this would be weird for me to like reach around and just do. So fuck that.
Any reach arounders? Anyone reaching around?
I can't say.
Anyone reaching? Any?
I'm going.
It's been a while, but you know.
And on that note,
going right to that stop recording button.
Ooh, are we gonna end the podcast episode? Guys, but
like
what if
and
we
subscribe.
Kept
Have a great
begins
one
now.
Don't die.
See y'all next time.
See you next time, or don't.
If you don't like and subscribe, I will kill your whole family on a Tuesday.
I will kill your whole family.
Specifically.
I will kill your whole family.